Good evening, and welcome to a celebration of Arts by George. I'm Rick Davis, Dean of the College of Visual and Performing Arts at George Mason University. Every September, Mason's campuses come to life as 39,000 students begin classes and community members fill campus sports arenas and cultural venues 7 days a week. The world is a different place this September. This evening would have been Mason's 15th annual Arts by George benefit event, now postponed to September 2021. You might say we're taking a gap year. But tonight, we are thrilled to present a celebration of Arts by George, highlighting the tremendous success of this extraordinary event and giving us all something to rally around in this uncertain time. In 2006, the College of Visual and Performing Arts experimented with an unconventional type of fundraiser. 14 years later, it has grown into an annual tradition at Mason and in Northern Virginia. Each year, more than 600 guests tour open studios and rehearsal halls in Mason's Dulaski Performing Arts Building. They see student work, meet student artists across all disciplines, and learn about their creative aspirations. The evening culminates in the Center for the Arts Concert Hall with a performance by a celebrated guest artist. In 14 years, Arts by George has awarded more than $1.7 million in scholarships and program support for Mason's College of Visual and Performing Arts. This evening, we'll take a look back at the first 14 years of Arts by George. You'll see some familiar faces. You'll meet student artists, and you'll hear from alumni across the world who have received Arts by George scholarships and have risen to great heights. There will be an opportunity for you to donate to scholarships and community arts programs, but you can make a gift at any time during this broadcast and after by following the information you see on your screen. And we'll reveal the headliner of the 15th Annual Arts by George, now scheduled for September 2021. You'll want to stay tuned for that. Let's begin with a look back at what we have come to call an evening like no other.
Good evening. My name is Carolyn Peterson, and I'm here to talk to you about how Arts by George was formulated. Now, about 25 years ago, I was part of a committee of 40 women put together by Joanne Johnson to raise funds for our Arts Center.
Arts by George began as an idea brought forth by two extraordinary women who each played a very important role in the development of the college and especially the Center for the Arts. These two were Carolyn Peterson and Carol Scanlon, and they shared an idea about an art celebration that they had been discussing. Their idea was to create an event at the center that would have small little performances in each corner of the building and on each level, and then culminate in a large event in the concert hall where everyone could be all together.
So after weeks and months of planning, ideas back and forth, all new scenarios, we came up with the formula that is Arts by George as you know it today.
Students come from across the state, across the country, and from around the world. In normal times, what's so much fun about Arts by George is that in one evening you get a taste of how incredibly talented these students are. You can see something that you already love, or you can learn about an aspect of visual and performing arts that you would not normally be drawn to.
Instead of creating a gala where the attendees are brought into a room and fed and entertained, we decided to ask the attendees to be true participants in the evening by moving from place to place to enjoy the variety of the arts that CVPA has to offer.
I've been attending Arts by George for more than 10 years, and I love it. Heck, I've even got the t-shirt. Seriously, my favorite part of the evening like no other is the student showcases. The showcases provide me with an opportunity to see the student performances up close. In between the showcases, I get a chance to talk to the students about their lives and why they chose this profession.
When you watch the students, you cannot help but feeling how inspired they are by their enthusiasm and their determination. It gives you hope for the future.
I can't articulate what a pleasure and a joy it's been over the years to be able to grab this gavel and serve as your Arts by George auctioneer. And we have had some fun. From auctioning off tickets and backstage tours in Hamilton to private jet experiences, Arts by George has had some of the coolest items I have ever had the pleasure to auction off. And I've been at this 11 years now.
Arts by George is usually my favorite night of the year. And this year, while we can't be together in person to celebrate, I still smile when I think of the wonderful things our contributions do. They support student art scholarships. They support wonderful teachers who nurture these students. And they support our ability to bring great performances, internationally renowned performers, into our concert hall. So please, this year, support Arts by George. And yes, that is an Arts by George signed Patti LuPone poster behind me. Thank you, everyone.
The best part of Arts by George is having the College of Visual and Performing Arts coming together for one evening of celebrating the arts.
Migrating. I like walking between the events and seeing the students in action.
Without question, my favorite is dance.
As president of the Friends of Theater at Mason, I have to say theater is my favorite of all.
I've met a lot of friends. I love the board.
We love the jazz band.
It really does keep us young because we see all these beautiful, beautiful students become like a full-blown flower.
Thank you, Arts by George.
It is only because of the loyalty of our community and the commitment of all of our friends who have supported us over the years. Now, it's a trite thing to say, but I mean it when I say we could not have done it without you.
Arts by George is truly, and I quote, an evening like no other.
We hear time and again that what makes Arts by George so special is the up-close interaction and behind-the-scenes experience with our student artists as guests journey through studios and rehearsal halls. From 5 to 11 o'clock, guests experience a busy evening featuring 7 academic degree programs, the great performances at Mason, Green Machine Ensembles, and Mason Community Arts Academy that make up the full breadth of the College of Visual and Performing Arts.
George Mason University is the largest public university in the Commonwealth of Virginia, with an enrollment of almost 39,000. In 2016, Mason, at less than 50 years old, became one of the youngest Carnegie Tier 1 research universities, a status that includes the country's top 115 universities with the most research activity. 1/3 of Mason students are first-generation college students, and Mason has been consistently ranked as one of the most diverse campuses in the United States. The College of Visual and Performing Arts serves 1,700 majors, from BA to PhD, in 7 degree-granting programs: art, dance, music, theater, arts management, computer game design, and film, and enrolls more than 20,000 Mason students in its courses every year. Its award-winning and state-of-the-art academic facilities include the Dulaski Performing Arts Building, Harris Theater, and the Art and Design Building. Students perform and exhibit their work in these venues and in Mason's flagship performing arts venues: the 2,000-seat Center for the Arts on the Fairfax campus, and the multi-stage Hilton Performing Arts Center on the Science and Technology campus in Manassas. Beyond the classroom, the College of Visual and Performing Arts welcomes more than 200,000 community members for a full season of performances by visiting artists and engagement programs through the Great Performances at Mason season in the Center for the Arts and Hilton Presents at the Hilton Performing Arts Center. Each venue receives competitive funding from the National Endowment for the Arts and the Virginia Commission on the Arts. The Green Machine Ensembles include Mason's award-winning pet band, named the best in the United States by the NCAA. The Green Machine is the heart and spirit of Mason campus life and includes more than 450 student musicians and performers of all majors and experience levels. The Mason Community Arts Academy serves more than 4,000 non-degree students of all ages through individual lessons, group classes, summer camps, and performance and exhibit opportunities for multiple art forms. College of Visual and Performing Arts faculty, visiting artists, and select CVPA students give instruction, providing a unique opportunity for college students to gain practical teaching experience. 100% of recent job-seeking graduates in art education and music education programs have secured contracted teaching positions, many of which before they even graduate. More than 7,000 alumni have graduated from the College of Visual and Performing Arts and represent Mason across the world.
Hello, my name is Mia Bryce, and I just recently graduated from George Mason University School of Dance.
For my senior year, I was casted in Variation 10, choreographed by Raphael Bonacella. Having the gala postponed was sad because that was a piece I loved so dearly. Xavier and I, a really good friend of mine, we were partners and we had this really big duet, and it was so moving, and seeing ourselves dance this, it just was a testament to how much we've grown as people, as dancers. Dance is special and it needs to be shared, and having the gala postponed, especially with the pieces that we had for this year, is devastating. My choreographic process is different with each piece. However, this last piece that I did called Pieces, it went to ACDA, which is American College Dance Association or American College Dance Festival. The outcome was phenomenal. I'm very proud of my dancers who trust me in what I was doing and to just give me their all. The dance program is amazing. I don't know if I would have had the same opportunities that I was given here. Scholarship from the dance department and also the school, along with financial aid, helped tremendously, and I couldn't be more grateful.
My name is Nathan Loda. I graduated from George Mason University in the spring of 2015. The School of Visual Arts has an incredible facility space. Each graduate student is given their own studio, which really allowed me to grow as an artist and help develop my professional career. Through the support of scholarships, I was able to work on just my art and create a body of work, as well as complete commissions that really helped me get a step up in developing a professional network and a sustainable career. Probably one of the most important aspects of my experience at Mason was working with faculty and using the network that the faculty had through the local art scene and the region to develop my own career. So for instance, being in touch with organizations like the Washington Project for the Arts, participating in their auctions, led to me working with the architectural design firm, which I've created work for Founding Farmers Tyson's. That led me to create work for their DC location, Farmers and Distillers, which that painting, my young George, kind of hipster George Washington, got a lot of national media coverage and really helped me establish my career. It also led to work in Philadelphia, so I'm working on a series of paintings, this one included, that's in the Wells Fargo Stadium that houses the Philadelphia Flyers and 76ers, and really just helped me create a career in a sustainable way to support my art endeavors.
What is happening to you when you play?
I mean, mostly it's just kind of me trying to ignore the fact that there's hundreds of people in front of me.
For 20-year-old Eddie Adams, the cello has been an instrument for much more than music.
I would stay after school and practice for however long, and then would take the after-school bus home just to at least spend as much time as I can being, I guess, away from reality.
The cello takes you away from reality.
Yeah.
He struggled with a difficult home life and at times lived with his family in a shelter.
But I just remember it was kind of weird, especially having to take the school bus from the homeless shelter.
In junior high school, he discovered the cello by chance.
they like had us go around and try different instruments.
Right, try different things.
And I tried percussion, and they said I had no rhythm. So then I ended up not playing percussion. And they were like, oh, we need people in the orchestra. And then that was like the first time I saw cello, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
But he persevered with the help of cello YouTube videos and encouragement from people like his high school music teacher, Gerald Fowlkes.
At the time, I mean, his escape was music.
He became so good so fast that George Mason University offered him a full tuition scholarship, even though he had never had a private lesson.
He has talent, enormous talent.
The director of stringed instruments at George Mason, June Huang, says Adams' audition was special.
I remember that moment because it's unique when you hear music come from the core of somebody, the silent, peaceful middle of someone. And I felt honored to witness that.
When he didn't have one of his own, Huang lent Adams her cello.
I believe we are mandated as human beings to lift each other and to bring each other's gifts forward. And that's really all I'm doing. And he made beautiful music on my terrible cello.
For Adams, simple deeds like those have been life-changing.
I feel like thank you isn't enough to really describe how I feel, and I feel weird just even saying thank you because I feel like it's not adequate enough to all the people.
What does the cello mean to you?
Everything, because it's kind of gotten me everything that I have now and gotten to me to where I am today. It got me into school, and I never saw myself being in college.
A sound success where the opportunities are endless. Chip Reed, CBS News, Fairfax, Virginia.
Hello, I'm Jessie Benitez, and I am a senior at George Mason University. I created Nightlife in my FABS 365 Intro to Documentary class. Overall, I just wanted to kind of create some sort of love story or poem about Washington, D.C. and Northern VA, and really just where I grew up and where I spent a lot of my time. And I wanted to challenge myself to tell that story and create some sort of feeling from that film through an observational lens. I decided to major in film mainly because I just want to tell stories. You know, I'm the kind of person where I definitely feel like I have something to say about everything. And even then, I don't know if people have yet realized how powerful storytelling is and can be. And what I like the most about the program is that every day, you know, I'm surrounded by students, professors, faculty who are all filmmakers and who all have a passion for the craft itself. And just being around that energy every day is really inspiring. I think, you know, from what I've learned being here, I've learned a lot about how the industry works and how it's changing. And a lot of professors here have helped me, you know, grow and become a better communicator, a writer. And I definitely feel like I'm ready to take on any challenge.
Hi, my name is Jordan Jones, and I graduated from the film department at Mason in spring 2018. And there's a few reasons why I chose Mason. One of them was the Stellar Film Program. I read about it, I toured, and I really fell in love with it. And I just heard so many good things, and the staff were always so inviting. And that was my number one criteria was, you know, a great film program, and that's what that was. Also, the proximity to DC really interested me because I not only just generally love the area, but I knew I'd be looking for jobs, and especially internships during college. I wanted that to be there. Post-employment to apply to jobs, I wanted that to be viable for me. And it really was. And there's so much media experience you can learn in that area. It really complements the studies of the school. And with the inviting environment of the staff and of the students and the diversity that is in the film program at Mason as a whole, I really was searching for diversity of thought and diversity of people and a place where I can grow and be a better student in person, and Mason was that. Some work that I've accomplished has been, I got to, in my later half of my senior year, go to New Orleans to participate in the Southern Producers Lab hosted by New Orleans Film Society. And it was a 3-day intensive to learn more about producing, and it was very, very valuable to me. And I got to carry that onto my future projects, and it really paid off because one of them got into Outfest LA, and the other one has won a Telly Award, and it's something I'm very proud of. And I'm excited for more to come in the future, but it's been very, very rewarding for me. And I've also gotten to be a film instructor at Amazon Web Services Girls Tech Day, where me and a couple other co-instructors got to teach young girls about film, and it was very rewarding just to see these young girls experience their love for something that I also love as well. And now I'm working at PBS. I work in operations for their digital video department. It's called PBS Digital Studios, and it's been such a great experience, and I'm looking forward to just learning a lot more and continuing my path. But thank you to Mason for helping give me that background to really help me succeed.
Honestly, I really appreciate all the knowledge and skills that my dear professors taught me throughout my 2 years of pursuing my master's degree in the arts management program. Thanks to them, I got the chance of broadening my horizons and becoming a graduate teaching assistant of finance and budgeting in the arts and arts entrepreneurship. Thanks to them, I got to gather a great deal of professional experience as an intern at Beijing Concert Hall and Washington Performing Arts. Thanks to them, I received the scholarship in the finance field in the arts. Also, thanks to them, I received an offer of a full-time executive administrator assistant at Kirov Academy of Washington, D.C. after my graduation.
Hi, I am Baron Pugh, and I am a 2012 School of Theater alum. I began my education as a performer, but the program allowed me the freedom and the flexibility to really learn about all areas of theater. And by taking classes in technical theater and by working backstage, I was able to discover the world of theater design as a possible career path. Through scholarship support, I was able to dedicate more time and focus on rehearsals and classwork and doing what I came to Mason to do, rather than putting all of that focus on an after-school job. Shortly after graduating from Mason, I was one of 4 people accepted into the graduate program at Boston University for scenic design, where I was able to learn from and work with prominent theater designers in both theater and opera. Since receiving my MFA in 2018, I have been fortunate enough to work professionally in the Boston theater scene, where I was recently nominated with an Elliot Norton Award for Outstanding Design.
What made my experience at Mason so special, I think, and 2 moments that I can really think of and how they shaped me as an artist. Oh my God, and I can already feel myself getting emotional thinking about one of them. All of the teachers there were really, really great. And my acting teacher, Kaolani Lee, who was a phenomenal actress, called me one day in my room. I was working on an acting assignment, I think actually for her class. I think it was writing a paper. And she called me, and this call came out of the blue. And she said, you know, I just want to let you know, and I think it was that you have something. And I was like, oh my God, okay, thank you so much. And you know, just the fact that she took the time to call me and tell me that she saw something in me was really special and really meaningful. And I think I've carried that with me, because I think as artists, sometimes, you know, sometimes you feel like, oh, it's getting really heavy. You don't know if you can keep going, and you know, you may be really ready to give up on something. But it's always amazing and special when you're able to go back and reflect on those moments and say, oh, but you know what? Someone took the time to call me out of the blue and say, you know, I see something in you. You know, you have this gift, you have this talent. And so I've just always thought about that, and I've never forgotten that moment. Those were moments that really stood out to me and really helped, I think, in my journey as an artist, because I discovered, you know, the possibilities of what I could do, and that there was something that I had to give to the world. And so being able to also have people make me aware of that was really special. And so I continue today with doing a lot of different things. I moved to Chicago, where I lived for 9 years and did tons of theater. But the foundation for that, really started at Mason and then working in DC and then getting to Chicago and really working there a lot for 9 years. And doing things like I did Chicago Med, Boss, and then I moved out to LA about 4 years ago, 2016, and got to do some other TV shows out here, Masters of Sex, which was on Showtime, and then also a lot of other independent projects, and have now gotten into writing and producing of my own. And I think funding for the arts, whether it's during this pandemic and outside of this pandemic, it's just always of the highest importance, because the arts teaches us so much about who we are as people. It helps to enlighten us about humanity, and it opens our eyes and minds to things that we might not have known about or been familiar with. And the arts just really, it's just a place, it's a universal language, music and dance and art and writing and things like that. It's so all universal, and we all can connect to it in some way. We all find some sort of familiarity in it. And so I think the more that we can continue to fund it and find the importance in it, will make our world a better place. Thanks.
George Mason, we honor you today. Our alma mater is the source of patriot pride. From far and near around the world we come to learn side by side. Our namesake George Mason saw truths that few could see, declaring all of humankind is equally free. His truth is today in the heart and soul of our university. We love our George Mason, we're proud of the green and gold. Those colors stay with us, those colors grow with us, those colors keep us patriots. True and bold.
Oh, that's quite a story, isn't it? And thanks to you, we're still writing it. In recent years at Arts by George, we have shared videos featuring student scholarship recipients who embody the best of the College of Visual and Performing Arts. These students were selected for a combination of their financial need, artistry, work ethic, and commitment to serving the Mason community. Let's take a look at some of the exemplary students whose stories have been featured over the years.
Having a program like Arts by George is so important to give kids that work so hard for their craft and to better the community as a whole. It's nice to provide them a reward, and it was not only inspired me to continue my dancing and push even farther, but it also lightened the financial burden on me and my family. I come from a single parent home, so my mother was thrilled when I was awarded with the scholarship.
My name is Anchi Xie and my instrument is violin. I was born and raised in Shanghai. I think I was raised in a very music family, and both of my parents are very artistic. The reason I want to study in arts management because I think studying management can help me to know how to strategically manage and promote the artists and the arts production. I think the most important reason why artists need manager and why arts management is so important, because being a musician and being an artist, the most valuable outcome is that your music and your arts can be shared, can be appreciated with the audience.
My name is Vincent Apido, and I received my bachelor's in 2008 and my master's in 2010 at George Mason University. I grew up on Long Island in New York to a fairly musical family. We had all the instruments at home, so we could dabble with them and listen to songs on the radio and then see if we could make it happen somehow on our own. Coming in as a freshman was very nerve-wracking. You're in a new city, you don't know many people, but what I had was my love for music. All those skills that I had attained from those classes as an undergraduate helped me to further study as a graduate. The great education as a composer is to have your music performed by real people, because all it is imagination in your head, you write it down, and that's about it. After I left Mason, I went to Los Angeles, and I did a program at USC, which was a one-year certificate program in film composition. It was a great opportunity to write music, to record, to learn. We recorded at the Warner Brothers scoring stage. Every week we're working on Family Guy episodes and Simpsons episodes, and we just did Cloud Atlas. It was my first screen credit. Kind of fun to see that the first time. Can't believe it when you see it.
My name is Candace Perry and I dance. Like every dancer, I want to dance and I want to get paid for it. I want to dance for Stephen Petronio, Camille A. Brown, Kyle Abraham. I'm not gonna have a backup plan. It's gonna happen. I started dancing when I was 5 or 6. People had always told me that I was good, but I didn't believe them. I think I had a lot of confidence issues. There was a tragic car accident with one of my friends, and she was also a dancer in high school. And because of her immense passion for dance, I felt like she lost her life and she loved to dance. And now I have the opportunity to dance, so I'm going to do so. And that's when I kind of just fell in love with how therapeutic dance can be. Dance is important because everybody does it. Whether you notice it or not, it's one of the most natural things that we do as humans. We're producing these emotions from our soul, we're showing you what we're feeling, but it's through movement.
Tonight we have some special guests who are able to join us from 3 different time zones across the world. Please welcome Jamie Howes from Bristow, Virginia, the Director of Dance at the Center for Fine and Performing Arts of the Charles J. Colgan Senior High School. Candace Perry from Orlando, Florida, the maintenance choreographer at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Vincent Apido from Los Angeles, California, a composer. And Anji Zhui from Shanghai, China, the marketing executive at Universal Pictures. Well, hello everybody, it's great to see you. And we're going to just have an informal conversation about your experience with Arts by George. What was the meaning of the Arts by George scholarship in your professional career? Anybody who wants to start, please go ahead. Jane?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you. So first of all, thank you so much for having us, and again, for continuing this amazing organization. It's so important to support these growing artists, because I think we can all speak to the fact that it really does make a difference. So I want to thank you for having us and for this amazing platform. So for me, I grew up in a single family household. And so when I started my college journey, finance was a large burden, and it was something that was constantly on my mind as well as my mother's mind. And so when I was lucky enough to receive this Amazing Arts by George scholarship, it allowed me to really maintain focus on my studies, on my classwork, on my performance. So that really alleviated a lot of that stress. And it also felt like I had another team cheering me on. I had other people who believed in me, who wanted to fund this opportunity. For me, I was getting my BFA in dance performance, and I was also working towards my K through 12 education certification, because my dream after performing was always to become the director of dance at a performing arts high school, and to hopefully, inspire future artists like I was. So receiving the scholarship truly impacted me, and was able to really focus on the schoolwork at George Mason University. Once I graduated, I was lucky enough to perform nationally and internationally with modern dance companies, as well as musical theater shows such as West Side Story and Hooray for Hollywood. I was hired with a New York City talent agent and got to work on television shows and for pop artists, recording artists. So I got to fulfill that dream again after working so hard at George Mason. And then I, again, was able to fulfill my lifelong goal of becoming the director of dance at a performing arts high school here in Virginia. And I'm, still so grateful to what was given to me by the faculty and the amazing opportunities they bring to their students. And actually, one of my recent seniors, one of my recent graduates, is now a dance major at George Mason University. So it really has come full circle, and it's an absolute joy to watch how my career has unfolded and my dreams have truly been achieved and are still unfolding, all because of Arts by George and George Mason University.
Wonderful, wonderful story. Who else? Anybody else on that one? Anji.
Yeah, so as an international student, especially 10 years ago, studying arts management was, for sure, it was not the first choice the parents would send their kids to. And I would never expect, I still feel very surreal for me to be able to receive this award, not only as a financial support, again, to help with me with the financial burden, but also a huge honor and recognition, and even a encouragement and inspiration for me to come as a young adult, to come to this foreign land, and then with this huge thirst for knowledge, not only the academic knowledge, but also really strive to learn more, to make friends, but beyond that, just try to make some achievement. And then what I was very touched at after I shared with many younger students about my experience after I received the Arts by George, many people come to know, wow, arts management, this is really a very meaningful subject to study. And now 10 years pass, and then so many people from China, for the rest of the world, come to Mason, and then come to have this deeper understanding of how meaningful, how valuable this skill set and this expertise can bring to the world. So I'm very grateful. I feel very honored, and I would never dream to achieve what I've achieved if not for Arts by George Award.
Well, you're a great ambassador. Thank you so much for that. Vinny?
Piggybacking on what Jamie was saying, sort of a similar situation where, middle class family, and you have to be careful, college is expensive. The scholarship was very beneficial for me because for once a very specific thing, it helped making attend the Aspen Music Festival much easier, because when college tuition is less, now you have a little bit more money for summer programs. And when you're in a music program, you know the music school or the art school, and you're surrounded by those people all the time. But then when you get a scholarship like this, and perhaps you perform at Arts by George, which I had the honor to do one year, now the dean knows who you are, now the provost knows who you are, and maybe the president of the university knows who you are. And so it just begins to open up networks outside of what you're used to all the time, which are arts people. And you realize that, with what we do, the music, dance, theater, all that is not enough. Administration is also important, and people of that side as well. But the scholarship was extremely beneficial. And, also there is that side of it, which I think Jamie touched on. There's no one more insecure than a performer. And when someone else offers you something, which is in recognition, sort of an accolade for what you've done, you do sit back and think, oh, well, maybe what I'm doing isn't so bad. Or maybe I'm doing something good that someone's recognizing it and they want to honor it or give help, I guess, if you want to, or assistance, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, no, the Arts by George scholarship was extremely beneficial. And like I said, that summer at Aspen was life-changing. It was the first time I really focused on film scoring. Because the film program was in its infancy when I was at Mason. So there really wasn't a lot going on quite yet. So that summer was the first time I had ever written music to actual film and met people who work in the industry and all of that was possible because of the scholarship that lessened the burden at school.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, take us home. You get the last word.
Okay, well, mine is going to be pretty short. You guys really just said everything that I could have said, just a lot more eloquently. But I will say that for me, the Arts by George scholarship, it just gave me so much confidence. And that's really kind of what it was for me. I mean, monetarily, it did help. Obviously, like college is not inexpensive. So it did help a lot. But I will say that it just provided me with so much confidence. I felt like I could do it. And I felt like with people that also supported the arts, I had never seen a sophisticated arts culture in my life before coming to Mason. So it just kind of reinforced what I was doing. It gave me the confidence to go out there and believe in myself. So I think that's kind of what the Arts by George Scholarship did. It just gave me hope and I don't know, gave me love for what I'm doing, obviously, but also just reinforced that I could do it.
That was wonderful. Thank you. Oh, we are so proud of all of you, and to hear your stories and to feel your gratitude and know that it flows two ways here, across the time zones and through the electrons. Wonderful to see all of you, and we wish you the best of luck in this next phase, whatever that turns out to be. So thanks again. The scholarship recipient video played at the 2011 Arts by George featured Derek Speller, a vocal studies major in the School of Music from Washington, D.C. Derek performed in Arts by George every year of his 4 years at Mason and graduated in 2013. He went on to earn a Master's of Music at Boston University and has since returned to the D.C. region, appearing on stages here and beyond. Let's go back to Derek's video from 2011.
I didn't want to sing at first. Mom made me join the church choir, and it was, Derek, you have to sing. I heard you singing in the shower, because, I mean, I would hum every now and then, but I didn't really know what I had until someone pointed it out to me. When I really decided that I loved singing, the sky was the limit for me. I wanted to act, I wanted to dance, I wanted to do musical theater. Mr. Bonds, who works at Duke Ellington School of the Arts, introduced me to Professor Miller here at George Mason University. And the first day I met her, she was the grandest person I've ever met, the best person that I've ever met.
When I first met Derek, I thought he was one of the most gentle, kind people I'd ever met in my life. He was so considerate and just full of curiosity, wanting very much to study, to learn.
She's an overall teacher. She gives you life lessons, and those things just makes you an overall better person. And there's nothing else like it. The Arts by George scholarships have helped me tremendously. They've helped me go to Italy 3 times in the summer. It's an experience that is breathtaking. Every time you go, it's opened up my eyes to a world that I never knew, to places that I've never seen. And it's just a blessing for the scholarships that are provided. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, because without you, we wouldn't be here.
Well, I made it back to the Center for the Arts. It's great to be on stage in front of a full house of empty seats. But I am thrilled to be here in the presence of 2 wonderful young artists who are going to perform for us tonight. Derek Speller, the baritone you met in the video just now, and Ga-Young Lee will be accompanying him on the piano in the beautiful ballad from the Broadway musical Ragtime, Make Them Hear You.
And tell our story, let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you, make them hear you. How justice was our battle and how justice was denied. Make them hear you, make them hear you. And say to those who blame us for the way we chose to fight, that sometimes there are battles that are more than black or white. And I could not put down my sword when justice was my right. Make them hear you, make them hear. And tell our story to your daughters and your sons. Make them hear you, make them hear you. and tell them in our struggle we were not the only ones. Make them hear you, make them hear you. Your sword can be a sermon or the power of the pen. Teach every child to raise their voice, and then, my brothers, then will justice be demanded by 10 million righteous men. Make them hear you. When they hear you, I'll be near you.
Wow, you guys, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for honoring us with your performance for our celebration of Arts by George. It was just remarkable. Derek, Guy Young, I'm going to ask you each a question in a minute about your memories of Arts by George. First of all, I want to tell our audience, Guy Young Lee, you are a Doctor of Musical Arts candidate right now with us studying piano performance in the Riva and Sid Dewberry Family School of Music. So great to have you with us for this journey. Now, can you tell us, what was your favorite moment in your Arts by George experience?
I remember the time, which was on 2018. I performed with the great singers, about 20 singers. They sang a song from a scene of opera. That was really awesome. So whenever I play the solo pieces, I just play alone, but I asked to accompany them on 2018. So I was very happy to work with them, and it was exciting.
Yeah, that performance is always one of the favorites for the Arts by George audience, and I remember it very fondly myself. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, Derek, what about you? You were a participant in 4 Arts by Georges, I think. What was your favorite moment?
I would definitely have to say that my favorite moments from Arts by George would be the taste of Arts by George held at the Petersons' home.
Oh, yeah.
It's very nice to be welcomed by them and to interact face-to-face with the Friends of Music. So that would be my favorite moment.
Yes, and I remember your performances in that beautiful home of the Petersons. Well, thank you again both so very much for being part of our show tonight. And now, let's take a bow.
This evening, you've heard the stories of Mason students and alumni whose lives have been changed by receiving a scholarship. Due to the impact of COVID-19, scholarship demand is at an all-time high. At this time, we invite you to make a gift in support of scholarships and community arts programs in the College of Visual and Performing Arts. There are 3 easy ways to give. Text ABG to 41444, call 703-993-2787, or give online at artsbygeorge.gmu.edu.
Well, we're back in the studio, and wasn't that an amazing performance by Derek Speller? It was just so beautiful. To see what our students and our alumni are doing out in the world, and to hear them giving us those gifts back in return for the gifts that we've given them is just an amazing thing. So I want to bring us back now to the main event here, which is the support our students and support our programs aspect of Arts by George. And I'm going to start with a little bit of an update. I'm really delighted to report that we have raised $133,200 so far in gifts from our sponsors, plus gifts that have come in tonight since the broadcast began at 7 o'clock. Now, of course, we invite you to make a gift in support of student scholarships and community arts programs, the great performances at Mason, everything we do here at the College of Visual and Performing Arts. Once again, you can give in 3 ways. You can text ABG to 41444, and it's a really easy platform. You know, some of those text-to-give platforms are not so much fun to use. This one is a beautiful interface, so you'll enjoy using it at whatever level you decide. ABG 41444. or you can call 703-993-2787, and well-trained, courteous operators are standing by, and you might even know them. And you can give online at artsbygeorge.gmu.edu. Now, a group of 7 Arts by George Steering Committee members and Arts at Mason board members have joined forces to offer a challenge gift, which is going to set us up for success here in this live auction portion of the program. We have $11,300 in challenge to start us off with the bidding, and we hope to double that amount this evening. So we're looking for gifts in the ranges of $2,500, $1,000, $500, $250, and $100. But of course, we encourage you to give any amount. I'll be asking for gifts at each level. It's kind of like a reverse auction. If you've been to Arts by George live, you know that our great auctioneer, Rob Jollis, who you saw earlier in the program, has a wonderful way of getting people bidding against each other and competing for the joy, really, of the feeling that you're supporting such wonderful work here at George Mason University's College of Visual and Performing Arts. So we're going to try to do that in cyberspace here tonight, so I want you to feel the energy of your neighbors and friends and other people who are tuned in, and as they are giving, I want you to be inspired to give too. So we're going to try to announce some of the gifts as they come in. Behind me here is a scroll of gifts that we've been receiving all night, and for those of you who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, in the comment box you can tell us why you support the Arts at Mason. So in this reverse auction, let's begin with the $2,500 level. $2,500 is our opening bid, and we're going to go down from there. $2,500. And I'm starting to get word now that the phones are ringing and the internet is humming, and we have an amazing $3,000 gift, an amazing $3,000 lead gift in this category, which has come in from a loyal alumna who chooses to remain anonymous. Well, thank you so very, very much. So that really gets us off to a great start. So again, we're accepting gifts at any level at any time, but let's keep the auction flavor going here, and let's go down to $1,000. We're moving on now to gifts of $1,000, and let's see what's coming in. All right. Here's a gift from Joyce and Gary Grimes, who are wonderful, loyal friends of the Center for the Arts and members of our board. The staff is telling me, I have lots of channels of communication open here, texts and calls and online gifts are really picking up, so we're going to try to update you on our progress as we go, and of course the scroll will be doing that as well. So now let's see what we can do at the $1,000 level. Oh, we have a wonderful gift from Dr. Linda Monson. Linda Monson, who is the director of our School of Music and is a wonderful friend of all of the arts at Mason. Thank you, Linda and Keith Monson, for your $1,000 gift. And we have a $1,000 gift from Stephen Gulch, who is one of the co-chairs of Arts by George. Thank you, Stephen. That is just absolutely wonderful. And now at the $500 level, you knew that was coming. I want to give a special thanks to Ann Caputo and Joe and Carol Catalano, Marshall Groom. They're coming hot and heavy now. Jay and Sally O'Brien, J.P. Fopp and Paula Martino, Bob and Ida Portland, thank you so much. A new donor to Arts by George, Quantum Executive Search Company, thank you for joining us. And Vicki and John Salmon, what a wonderful couple they are and how much they have given to the Arts at Mason. And of course, Vicki is the current chair of our Arts at Mason board. And special thanks to Don Smith and Jay Spear, who have chaired Arts by George for the past 2 years, for their gift of $700. So that's absolutely fantastic. James and Janice Wolf coming in at $500 as well. We're getting social media comments here. Joe Catalano says, what an incredible celebration. Thank you so much, Joe, for your patronage and for that wonderful comment. Now let's go to gifts of $250. Here's one coming in from the Brick Company. Thank you very much to the Brick Company. And let's go all the way to our root level here, gifts of $100. The gifts are coming in really fast now, and we're going to pause for a second to kind of let them roll up. And let's check in. I know that there are some Arts by George Steering Committee Zoom watch parties going on around the region tonight. And so now we're going to check in with Willie Moe and his guests at his Zoom watch party. There they are. Wow. Look at that top hat, is fantastic. Thank you, guys. Yay! Oh, I hope you're having a good time with the program. You look great. I know that Joe Catalano, whose text message we just read, is also having a watch party. Oh, looks like Willie's got some nice red wine going. And here is Joe. There he is. Joe's keeping himself in the dark. There, perfect. Oh, look at there's Mike and Buffy. Thank you all so much for your great support. Love your backgrounds. That's fantastic. So it's great to see people coming in from all over Northern Virginia. And I've just received word that we got an enormous gift. I mean, this is truly amazing, and from a very, very special friend of the arts at George Mason. Andrew Flegel was the Dean of Admissions here at George Mason University during our fabulous run to the Final Four in 2006. And believe me, he was a busy Dean of Admissions in the years after that Final Four run. He realized, as we were going to that national tournament for basketball, that we needed a world-class pep band to match our world-class basketball team. And so he is credited now and forever as one of the co-founders of the Green Machine. So he helped us with the creation of the Green Machine. We hired Dr. Michael Nickens, Doc Nix, and the rest is history. So Andrew Flegel and his lovely wife Jennifer have come through tonight for us with a gift of $5,000, a sponsorship-level gift for Arts by George. Andrew, Jen, welcome back to Northern Virginia. You've been away too long, and thank you so much for your generous support of Arts by George. And this means, by the way, that we have met our $11,300 challenge, and there's another gift that's just coming in. This is starting to feel like a real auction, isn't it? Rick and Phoebe Peterson have given $3,000, and our total so far for the night, and we're not done yet, is $155,000. This is going to set records, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one of the best Arts by Georges ever. And so we've got $155,000. We've met our challenge. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's made a gift this evening. You can continue to give during and after the broadcast, and we're going to keep those channels open. We're now going to resume with some of our final student showcases. There's going to be remarks by new President Gregory Washington, and if you haven't had a chance to hear from Greg Washington yet, you're going to be delighted to hear him. He's an absolutely dynamic new president for our university. And then eventually, we're going to get to the headliner of the 15th Annual Arts by George, and that's a reveal you won't want to miss. So thank you all very, very much. On March 16th, Mason closed all of its campuses and transitioned to online instruction. The decision was made during spring break, and our 300 faculty members in the College of Visual and Performing Arts had 2 weeks to make a sudden shift to teaching online. Many of our students face major hardships, including financial challenges, loss of jobs, and having to care for family members. As Dean, I am so inspired by the resilience of our students and our graduates who continue to thrive, create, and share their art despite the challenges of learning in a socially distant environment. Our work in the College of Visual and Performing Arts centers around collaboration and experiential learning. So we wasted no time and immediately launched a new virtual series called Mason Arts at Home that features the work of students, faculty, alumni, and visiting artists. Since the series premiered in April 2020, we have presented 80 online programs, viewed more than 200,000 times on social media. You can see a full list of events at cfa.gmu.edu. Here are some highlights of our new reality over the past 6 months.
These students are sometimes faced with priorities within the family of what's the most important thing. College tuition is up there, but it may not be at the very top, and these students need this sort of assistance. Many of these families are facing financial difficulty due to loss of income or medical bills at this time. So we want to help these students as best we can through your kind donations for our scholarship funds. So we do urge you to consider what it is we're doing right now and some of the challenges involved as we continue to work in a manner that keeps everybody safe and healthy. Our students, our staff, our faculty, and as importantly, you, our audience members.
So what are some of the things you think are special about Mason Community Arts Academy that's different than other places to take piano?
Well, like they will not give up. They're very persistent. Like if even through these hard times, like they won't give up on anyone. Like you can still do piano lessons. Like maybe in like other places they'll just cancel them because of COVID. But Mason makes it so you can have online lessons. And for us, it's free because, scholarship.
What should people keep giving to this tuition assistance fund? I mean, is it really important to kids? Does it mean a whole bunch to be able to do this?
Yes, it means a lot. It means like people like me could still be doing lessons and during these hard times.
Drive by Kyle Abraham was staged by Jay Neal.
From beginning to end, the residency was a push in the best way, physically and mentally. Picking up the choreography for such a lengthy piece and so quickly from the videos, but it was made less stressful by the way we all helped and leaned on each other.
Although we couldn't perform Drive in March of 2020, I am still so thankful to have even been a part of the process and the rehearsals and the residency and all that it entailed, because we were pushed and we pushed each other so much further than I think any of us could have ever imagined.
There's so much preparation that goes into a dance, that goes into making it performance ready. And so even though we were all looking forward to getting on stage and dancing, we still had the months of rehearsals and residency where we were able to dance.
That's what hurts the most, I think, is that we weren't able to share this with an audience.
A new perspective might have just been the real deep love I have for moving and for existing in an artistic space.
I'm sure, like many other artists, finding a way to work around this problem has been solved by the use of a camera. I never would have thought that dancing virtually was going to be a thing, but here I am creating films and dancing for a virtual dance company.
That I chose the School of Dance because of its community and camaraderie and its ability to support.
I am so thankful for the scholarship money I received from the gracious donors to the department, and I hope that in the future, scholarships will continue to be offered so that the program can continue to diversify in its student body.
If I could do it all over again, I would, because the gratitude I have for the people I met and the meaningful experiences I've had and all the things that I've learned, I don't think I could have had them anywhere else.
The College of Visual and Performing Arts is lucky to have the support of a community like no other. Every year, a group of dedicated supporters come together on the Arts by George Steering Committee. The steering committee is the backbone of success for Arts by George. They help secure sponsorships, solicit exciting auction items, and select the catering menu, including the all-important taste test. Please welcome the chairs of Arts by George 2020 and 2021 Steering Committee, Annie Bolger of Sandy Spring Bank and Stephen Golsch of Now Secure.
Thank you, Rick, and good evening. We are thrilled to serve as co-chairs of the Arts by George Steering Committee.
Arts by George has become a signature annual fundraising event in Northern Virginia and brings hundreds of community members to Mason each September to meet emerging student artists and to experience the full extent of Mason's academic and community arts programs.
Each year, our dedicated steering committee is committed to bringing you a memorable evening, sharing arts programs with the community, and providing opportunities for you to make a difference in the life of a young artist.
Tonight you're going to meet Mason students and alumni whose lives have been changed by receiving a scholarship through Arts by George. Later in the evening, you will have an opportunity to donate to student scholarships and community arts programs.
Thank you to all the steering committee members, past and present, who have made this event what it is today. And especially thank you to everyone who has supported the event over the past 14 years.
We regret we cannot gather together in person this year, but we hope you enjoy this evening's program, and we cannot wait to see you next year on September 25th for the 15th Annual Arts by George.
On behalf of the Arts by George Steering Committee, thank you for 14 amazing years of Arts by George.
Thank you, Stephen and Annie. And thank you to all members of our Arts by George Steering Committee, past and present. I would now like to introduce Jay O'Brien, Executive Vice President and Chief Banking Officer of Sandy Spring Bank. Jay has been a Mason parent and now serves on the Board of Trustees for the George Mason University Foundation. Sandy Spring Bank has been a longtime supporter of Mason and its College of Visual and Performing Arts. We are thrilled to partner with Sandy Spring Bank as the Arts by George presenting sponsor. Please welcome Jay O'Brien.
Thanks, Rick, and good evening. Sandy Spring Bank is proud to once again serve as the presenting sponsor of Arts by George. As the largest locally headquartered community bank in our region, we are committed to strengthening our community and supporting the artistic aspirations of talented students of George Mason University's College of Visual and Performing Arts. Arts by George has been and continues to be one of the most unique opportunities for community members to come together and journey through Mason's state-of-the-art facilities, meet student artists, and connect with the others in the community that share a love of the arts. Although we cannot gather together in person this year, tonight we celebrate 14 incredible years of Arts by George, thanks to an exceptional community of supporters. We look forward to seeing you at the 15th Annual Arts by George on September 25th, 2021. And from all of us at Sandy Spring Bank, have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Jay. And thank you to Sandy Spring Bank for its continuing support of the arts at Mason. And now I'm delighted to introduce Mason's 8th president, Dr. Gregory Washington. Dr. Washington became president in July 2020 under extraordinary circumstances. President Washington is a strong supporter of the arts across Mason's campuses, and we're grateful he's able to join us this evening. Please welcome Dr. Gregory Washington.
Thank you, Rick. This evening, I have truly been inspired by the immense talent, energy, and resilience of the students and alumni of Mason's College of Visual and Performing Arts. One of the many attributes that attracted me to Mason was not only its esteemed arts programs, but the role Mason Arts plays in creating community. The arts are the front door to Mason's campuses. Once our campus resumes normal operations, I encourage you to experience all that the arts at Mason has to offer. Whether visiting one of our arts galleries, taking a class at the Mason Community Arts Academy, or attending some of our numerous student productions and the great performances in the Center for the Arts. There's truly something for everyone. Thank you for your tremendous support of 14 years of Arts by George. I'm already looking forward to next September when we can hold our 15th annual celebration in person. And I hope to have the chance to meet you long before that. Enjoy the rest of a celebration of Arts by George, and may you and your family stay safe and be well.
Thank you, President Washington. Every Arts by George culminates with a performance by a headliner, which also marks the annual kickoff of the Great Performances at Mason season in the Center for the Arts. In 14 years, we've experienced show-stopping performances by some of the most celebrated Tony, Oscar, Emmy, and Grammy Award-winning artists. But more importantly, all of these artists have been unwavering supporters of arts education. During their time at Mason, they have offered master classes to our students, sometimes included opportunities for student performers in their shows, and greeted Arts by George guests at the onstage reception. Before we reveal the headliner for the 15th Annual Arts by George, set for September 2021, let's take a look back at the phenomenal artists who have performed for Arts by George. What an amazing roster of artists we've had on the concert hall stage in the past 14 years. And now, I am thrilled to announce the headliner for the 15th Annual Arts by George that will be held in person on Saturday, September 25th, 2021, Kristin Chenoweth. At Arts by George, Kristin will make her Center for the Arts debut. She's left an indelible mark on Broadway with her performances as Glinda the Good Witch in Wicked and as Sally in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Audiences know her film and television work on The West Wing and Glee. And it gets better. I present to you the one and only Kristin Chenoweth.
I got a $20 gold piece that says there ain't nothing I can't do. I'll always love you. But God away, desperado. 'Cause I'm a woman. That's right.
Save the date and join Kristin Chenoweth and students from the College of Visual and Performing Arts Saturday, September 25th, 2021 for the 15th Annual Arts by George. Thank you for your tremendous support this evening. Remember, you can still make a gift by texting the number on your screen. Text Mason Arts to 41444. Tonight, we end with a toast to the first 14 years of Arts by George and to the next 14 years. Stay safe and healthy. We cannot wait to gather again in person to experience the magic of Arts by George. Thank you, and good night.
When darkness comes.